But was there any association with primiparous versus multiparous cows for the response to single versus double dose of GnRH?
It's another very good question, and the answer, it's that difference I mentioned is about 3.5. It was much more robust on the multiparous that we see in the study, but I need to say there was no interaction between treatment and parity. Okay, so for the nerds in there, when like from a statistical standpoint, we didn't see that interaction. And part of that is because in some farms, there's improvement for primiparous and multiparous, but there's some farms that didn't. But overall, when we look at the whole population, we have about 3,000 of each animals, 3,000 multiparous, 3,000 primiparous. The response was about 5% increase in the multiparous, and only like 1.5% improvement on the primiparous. So it's much more robust and consistently higher for the multiparous, which comes like why, right? Why the multiparous would respond better? That's of course something that we've been thinking ourselves. Well, what could be the difference between those animals? And there's a few things that we look at that could be a contributor factor. Again, I never talk in absolutes. That's how I see science. There's no one single thing you can put everything on that basket. But one factor that we look at that seems to be interrelated to the response that we found, it was that the animals that were in the multiparous group that received the 2 and 4 cc's, if we break down by progesterone level at the beginning of the program, most of those cows, they have corpus luteum. They are going through a double off sync, so they already went through an entire off sync. So all of them will have actually maybe 2 corpus luteum at the time they were beginning the program. Not all of them, but 20%. And when we break it down between the animals that had 3 or less than 3 nanograms of progesterone, for nerd talk, that it's high. Let's say it's one way to divide in higher and lower groups of progesterone at that time point. And looking into that, what it represents, then those animals that were higher in the multiparous, they seem statistically significant. We found a relationship between, it was a triple-way interaction between parity, treatment, and progesterone level. So when we do that 3 on it. So the animals that were high in progesterone, both 3, they were multiparous, they benefit from 4 cc's, like or 200 versus 100 micrograms of gonadotropin hydrochloride. When we're looking at primiparous, we're actually opposite. The animals that were in the high didn't respond well, but the ones that were in the low respond well. And as I mentioned, in terms of percent, the animals that are on the higher, on the the multiparous, there's more animals that are on the higher end that perhaps need that little boost of LH to ovulate off. And even though we have more ovulation on the primiparous as well, perhaps it's not on the group that you are going to have higher pregnancy anyways as much. It's not absolute. There, you're having a few more pregnancies there. I just I think progesterone might be playing a role there in level of productivity. We did put milk production in the model, but we put a milk equivalent 305. We didn't have like daily milk productions or anything like that. It could be things that we're not able to truly measure.